You say I won't forget what you said to me. I won't forget you left begging, please don't leave.
Let It All Go was a really fun song to work on. It's a bit musician-y. It's a bit of a brainy song, but it sounds really simple. The origins of the song are interesting as well. I was trying to fall asleep and just had this sort of almost annoying pattern in my head, sort of bum 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 bum. I thought, okay, well, that's not going to stop. I better get up and sing that into my recorder. And as I was walking over to the recorder, a melody entered the idea, and it's just this really simple melody. So I had that, and it's just sort of like popped into my head with this bum 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 rhythm underneath it. And the melody started to evolve on its own as I started to sing it into the recorder. And it went from this simple line to a sort of descending, almost chromatic melody where it goes down by half steps on these lower notes. It's a really simple melody. It's almost as if it just existed in the trees singing with the birds. It just sort of popped into my mind.
I want to know what in the world has happened to you. It's time to learn to let it all go.
And I thought it was really neat, and it would be an interesting exercise to try to create the chords underneath to be more complicated than you'd imagine. It's just fun as a musician. It's just fun to sort of play around with ideas like that. So, found the basic key of the song, really simple. So it's basically just C major, A minor, F major, and G dominant 7. But with the melody being so simple, you can get away with a lot of tricks underneath it because the melody is just this naturally hooky thing. So I was just looking at the notes in the melody, and I wanted to do that descending thing. I thought, oh, okay, so you can pretty much get away with the entire song being based around this C major and then slip in the slide chord. So I start climbing up to this, after the C, start climbing up the E string on another sort of chromatic exploration, and start with this G sharp diminished to make it to the A minor. So that's sort of standard musician thing to do, but slightly tricky. After the A minor, when the melody starts creeping down, you got this note again, so you can go after the A minor, go right back to the G sharp diminished, and just adds a really cool color to the melody. And suddenly it's not so nursery rhyme-like. It's a little creepy. And I started just seeing if we could make a chord for every single note between the F and the A here. So this F sharp minor 7 flat 5, I suppose you could call it, is the real gem. That one's a strange chord. It sounds almost wrong on its own, but it was cool to have underneath this really poppy melody. And then that naturally resolves to the F major 7, which is a really pretty jazz chord. And then we start to have a payoff there. So time to learn to let it all go. Back up to the G7. And it's all sort of simple once you pick it apart, but just has some of these weird chords in it. And then I showed the part to Arun, and he thought of adding all these really cool inversions over the top of these chords. So
an inversion if you basically rearrange the notes of a chord. So a C major 7 is C, E, G, B. You just move the C to the N, and that would be first inversion. Then move the E and so on to second inversion, third inversion. And when you have multiple stringed instruments, you can take advantage of how much space you want to fill. And so when Chris showed me the song, and it had this, beautifully simple melody, but these really interesting chords, and then we talked about, giving it this treatment of making it this really powerful, visceral rock song too. So we're adding that element to, the whole thing. So I wanted to try to make the chord sound as big as possible. So we essentially double each other, going up to the A minor, and then when he starts to descend back to this, I go up to this inversion of the G sharp diminished. And so there's all these little extra melodies within the chords, voice leading is what it's called, that it adds. So when he goes here, I go here. When he goes here, I go. So my whole part would be.
Their sideways eyes cut through, but you know that now it's time to let it all go.
And that's a lot of fun. I mean, we play around intellectually with music, but
It's still gotta,
we really just try to make it simple.
yeah.
But we try to keep ourselves deceptively
yeah.
simple. So we try to keep ourselves entertained as well.
Right. So if it's got to be fun for you. So whatever it is, I mean, even if you're just playing, like rock chords or something, as long you just got to keep it fun and remember why you love playing music to begin with. It's not about the money and all the other stuff that they say you get when you start playing music.
Who said that?
I don't know.
Ha 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 ha.